All right, welcome. This is Duke Green presenting Let's Learn presenting Let's Read Japanese, course series for the reading of Japanese text alongside its audio counterpart. Today's episode is Shinya Shokudo, the 2015 movie, part 4 of 5. So getting near the end of the movie. And then after this movie's over, we'll be doing the 2016 movie. And then into Kino Nani Tabata, 3 of those special episodes, and then going back to Time Taxi. All right, so that's the current plan as far as this is going. All right, so just as with that out of the way, let's start with the basic intro. So if you like this video, remember to, and this is for people on YouTube, hey, if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you enjoy the series, you'd like to see more like this, like I was mentioning earlier, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is all part of the Let's Learn Japanese project. So if you appreciate what I'm doing to help the Japanese learning community, that can be supported via the Patreon, links in the description, as well as links to the community Discord and the website the Otaku Dave put together. Finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, technical assistance, advice, usually it's one-on-one to help walk you through step-by-step to get set up with the various resources that I discuss in these videos now and again, or people who like to restart in a different way that already began their Japanese progress. Or, then the hourly rates and the payments are done via the Discord. I'm sorry, via the Patreon. So the direct link for that specifically is in the discussion below. All right, this is, that's pretty much it. There's not much to say after that. Let's just get started. We're going to be going to the 1 hour and 32 minute mark on this particular video. Okay, so with that. Yeah, the coffee tastes good. Okay, with that, let's get started. What's happening here? So we're at the 1 hour, 11 minute mark. So we're going to be going for, that's kind of a short time. Man, is this like, wow, okay. Pistachios?
拾った実を腐らせて
Okay.
拾った実を腐らせてこの種を取り出すんですけど、拾った実を腐らせてこの種を取り出すんですけど、
やっぱり臭いんだよね。
花が降参する前に芽が
降参 losing to lose 花が降参する
花が降参する前に芽が潰れるかと思いましたよ。
それがこんな大人食い物になるんだからよ。
No, so it's supposed to be like begging or what's the number? こんな
こんな大人食い物になるんだからよ。不思議だよな。
こんばんは。
あ、さやちゃん久しぶり。
Oh, Saya-chan. あだち。
いらっしゃい。
マスター、私から揚げとハイボール。
あけみちゃんは？
豚汁定食少なめで。
あよ。
What is it? Sugira?
豚汁定食少なめで。
あよ。
さやちゃんが初めて福島にボランティアに行った時、何かと面倒を見てくれたのがこのあけみちゃんでね。さやちゃん曰く頼りになるボランティアの大先輩だそうだ。
新しい仕事の方はどう？また居眠りしてない？
それはないですけど、でも新米なんで土地。でも新米なんで。
新米なんで。その年。Beginner. Okay. 新米なん。Okay. 新米なんで。
でも新米なんで土地ってお客様に笑われてます。
土地って。 土地って。
でも新米なんで土地ってお客様に笑われてます。
ボランティアも行ってるの？
余裕がある時だけ。でも私は数えるぐらいですけど、明美さん今でも週末は泊まりがけで行ってるんです。
えれえな、その若さで。日本もまだまだ捨てたもんじゃねえな。
じゃあ昨日も向こうに？
いえ、疲れたんで少し休もうと思って。
人助けの前に自分が倒れちまったら元も子もねえもんな。
足元お気をつけください。
よーく似合ってんでねえの。
健三、大石健三。
よーく似合ってんでねえの。
健三さん、なんでいるんですか？
こっぱずかしいこと聞くんでね。
恥ずかしい。little embarrassed. こっぱずかしいこと。
こっぱずかしいこと聞くんでね。
しばらくすると高速道路を降りて、
しばらくすると高速道路。
バスは上野駅正面玄関口の前を通過いたします。
上野駅正面玄関。正面玄関口。
バスはしばらくすると高速道路を降りて、バスは上野駅正面玄関口の前を通過いたします。上野駅は東北の玄関口とも言われ、かつて高度経済成長期の頃には、
高度経済成長期。But economic, was that like the economic bubble? Okay. 高度経済成長。高度経済成長。高度経済成長期。
かつて高度経済成長期の頃には、多くの金の玉と呼ばれる
Yeah, I think that means testicles right there. 金の玉、金玉。
若者たちが失礼しました。多くの金の卵と呼ばれる
金の卵。Okay. 手の入れること難しい。The future. Okay. Difficulties now for. Okay. Talented person shows great promise. Okay. 金の卵。
多くの金の卵と呼ばれる若者たちが希望を抱いて降り立ち、日本の経済発展を支える礎となってくれたのです。日本の経済発展希望を抱いて、多くの金の卵と呼ばれる若者たちが希望を抱いて降り立ち、
Maybe I'm 希望いただいて降り立ち。
希望を抱いて降り立ち、日本の経済発展を支える礎となってくれたのです。
礎。Foundation。礎。
日本の経済発展を支える礎となってくれたのです。左に見えてくるのが皆さんご存知の浅草雷門です。ここ浅草は江戸時代から観光名所として栄
ああ、料理台から観光名所、はい、あ、それはそれ、名所、観光名所として。
三社祭りでも有名です。三社祭り、江戸時代から観光名所として栄え、三社祭りでも有名です。
I just want to make sure about that right there. She did say hi, right?
三社江戸時代から観光名所として栄え、三社祭りでも有名です。
三社祭り。三社祭り。三社フェスティバル。三社祭りでも。
三社祭りでも有名です。いよいよ正面に東京スカイツリーが見えてきました。高さは634メートル。現在の東京とその周辺が武蔵。
I'm assuming when this, I think, no, I mean, the Skytree, it's been open for a few years since this was, so it wouldn't have been a big deal, or as big of a deal. I mean, it was open within the last decade, if I recall correctly.
の国と呼ばれていたことから、現在の東京とその周辺が武蔵の国と呼ばれていたことから、
武蔵国。武蔵国と。
武蔵の国と呼ばれていたことから、武蔵で634メートルになりました。
Okay.
いいです。そうそう、もういい加減にしてください。明美さんここには来ませんよ。
おったら合わせてくいよ。
無理です。もう諦めて帰ってください。
さやちゃん、そこどうにかしてくいよ。
あれ今時地べたにね。
地べたに。
こんなんと関係あんの？
ちょっとした知り合いです。
Yeah, Gen's a little protective of Saya.
あ、なんかしくじってんな。
しくじってんの。しくじる。失敗する get lost やりそうかな。
なんかしくじってんな。人相でわかるよ。
人相。
おい、巻きが人相でわかるよ。おい、巻きが混んでんぞ。
ちょっといいからもう。ほら。
いらねえよ。
ほら、
いいってもう。
ほら。
いらねえ。何あれ？豆？
いいから。いいっても津波で奥さんを亡くして。
So okay, probably during the earthquake.
ずっと仮設住宅に引きこもってたんです。
仮設住宅。仮設住宅。仮設住宅で引きこもる。Okay, 引きこもる。So just confined himself to there, didn't leave. 引きこもる。Yeah. 引きこもる。
ずっと仮設住宅に引きこもってたんです。けど明美さんが来るようになって役所の人や復興支援の関係者を紹介してくれたり。
ね、be assisting, right? 復興支援。復興支援。関係者紹介してくれたり。
役所の人や復興支援の関係者を紹介してくれたり。私が行った時もすっごくよくしてくれて。 けど先月明美さんが仮設住宅に支援物資を持ってった時に
支援物資支援物資支援物資
支援物資を持って先月明美さんが仮設住宅に支援物資を持ってった時に
いきなりプロポーズしてきたんだ。
明美さん気まずくてさすがに
気まずくて気まずいfelt bad unpleasant 気まずくて
さすがにその明美さん気まずくてさすがにその場じゃ返事できなかったそうです。それっきり行くのをためらってて。
私だったらそんな熱烈にアプローチされたら
熱烈maybe fiery or like or yeah ardent okay 熱烈に
心揺れ動い私だったらそんな熱烈にアプローチされたら心揺れ動いちゃうかも。
心揺れるI know it's like make your heart move 揺れ動くゆらゆら tremble and trake 揺れ動く
心揺れ動いちゃうかも。
明美さんはどう思ってんの？
受ける気はないそうです。
全く？
ね
だったらちゃんとそう伝えるべきよ。
そうよね。同情で結婚できないもんね。
でもちょっと気の毒だな。東京まで追いかけてきたんだもんな。
いやだからちゃんと言ってあげないと。このままだとあの人思い詰めて何してかすかわかんないわよ。
思い詰める like oh yeah being persistent or has a single track yeah this preconceived notion チーズ考えて yeah 思い詰め
て何してかすかわかんないわよ。
私明美さんに話してみます。
優しくされて勘違いしちまったんだろうね。
普通そうだよな。嬉しいもんな。
だから勘違いなんだって。
俺は勘違いするね。とことんするね。負け戦好きだし。
とことんするね。
とことんする。俺は勘違いするね。とことんするね。負け戦好きだし。
負け戦I like a losing battle 負け戦ikusa because I usually when I see this I always think of it as sin you know but ikusa okay ikusa 負け戦
負け戦好きだし。
いくら純粋でもね限度ってものがあるでしょ。バランス感覚。
限度 the limits no one's limits 限度でも
バランス感覚。いくら純粋でもね限度ってものがあるでしょ。バランス感覚。リテラシーっていうの？
リテラシーリテラシーリテラシーリテラシー
カタカナいい？
リテラシーバランス感覚。リテラシーっていうの？
カタカナいいんだよ。どうでも。
どうでも？失礼ね。
はい。
ごちそうさま。
ありがとね。
誰
はい、お疲れ様です。今から。あ、はい、了解です。大丈夫です。はい、その案件はもう、共有してます。 から。はい。
共有してますってもう。
東京の人は何共有してんだ。
Should be jointly owned, right? Yeah. 東京の人何共
電話に出らんねえぐらい忙しいかね。
いくらかけても無駄だと思いますよ。
こっちにいるってメールしといてくれよ。俺んだと無視されっから。俺んだと無視されっから。
私もう帰ります。
そこをどうにかしてくれよ。ほらどうにも止まんねえんだ。まあ止めても無駄だけどな。
マスターお勘定。
あよ。
冷てな。こっちには他に頼る人いねえんだから面倒見てくれたって言えべ。
ずるいです健三さん。
感情は俺がすっから、今日はおごらしてくれよ。貸し借りなしだから安心しろ。
あまりしつこくしない方がいいんじゃないのか。
Maybe.
なあしてあったにほったのこと言われねえっけなんねえな。なあしてあったにほったのこと言われねえっけなんねえな。
Scrap wood. なしは無駄なこ
なあしてあったにほったのこと言われねえっけなんねえな。おせっかいしねえ店だって聞いてたんだけどね。おせっかいしねえ店だって聞いてたんだけどね。
常連さん困らせるわけにはいかないから。
Makes sense.
なんだい。
こいつが自然に切れっと願い事叶うんだ。
はい。
願い事叶うん。こいつが自然に切れっと願い事叶うんだ。
へえ、聞いたことあるけど。で、あんたどんな願い事したんだい。
決まってっぺ。明美ちゃん幸せにする以外ねえべ。
そうかい。じゃあおせっかいはやめとけよ。
かっこつけててね。
Tokyo 2020. Yeah, that's a. Yeah, day drunks.
ここであったが100年目っつのか。
100年目。ある年から。Out of luck. Okay. Rare chance. やったが。100年目。
ここであったが100年目っつのか。わざわざ来てくっちゃんだ。わざわざ来てくっちゃんだ。チート痩せたか。
シート。
チート痩せたか。立ち話もなんだから中入って。さえちゃんも。 しばらくぶりにパチンコやったっけ。使っちゃ。
I'm guessing. I think in his case, like, oh, it's just just by chance we just met. I think he's just saying, oh, what a lucky thing. I'm guessing. I mean, again, I guess it depends. Like, if you rewatch the scene when it was happening, then that might explain it. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, this is 1 out of 100 years, one chance in 100 years. Sounds like it's being said ironically. Shibaraku barini. Shibaraku barini. Burini. Oh, shibaraku. Shibaraku burini. Let me hear that again.
しばらくぶりにパチンコやったっけ。
Shibaraku burini.
使っちゃ。だいぶ吸っちまった。お、切れたっつうことは願い事叶ったんだな。もしかして俺との再会か。
切れたんじゃなくて切ったんです。
Doesn't want to. Okay.
冗談だ。怒んねえで食いよ。
どうして東京にいるんですか。
まだ返事聞いてねえから。
だからごめんなさい。
そった急いで答え出す必要ねえべ。俺はこっちさ腰据えるつもりだからよ。
The more a place. Yeah.
俺はこっちさ腰据えるつもりだからよ。
答えは変わりません。
いやいや、人の気持ちなんて当てになんねえべ。心変わりっつうこともあんだから。人の気持ち心変わりっつうこともあんだから。い
つまでこんなこと続けるつもり。
金のことなら心配いらねえ。オリンピックまでは仕事にありつけっぺ多分。
そういうこと。
ありつけて。I've
オリンピックまでは仕事にありつけっぺ多分。
そういうことじゃなくて、ここじゃないでしょ。健三さんの居場所は。
俺の勝手だ。
そう、勝手なんだ。話して。
しばらくしたら会うべ。感情は俺がすっから。
being way too persistent.
感情は。
さっき交番に連行したあの人、なんか野口さんとダブるんですよね。なんか野口さんとダブるんですよね。さっき交番に連行したあの人、なんか野口さんとダブるんですよね。タッペタッペって方言とか。
ダッペダッペ。It's not saying it. ダッペダッペって方言とか。
タッペタッペって方言とか。
俺がいつだっぺっつった。地方出身者を一括りにするお前の中央集権的な無意。
地方出身者一括りまとめて一つ作る。一括りバンドだ。一括り。
地方出身者を一括りにするお前の中央集権的な無意識。
中央集権。 Seiji kingdom of political power. Centralization, centralized. 中央集権的に。
するお前の中央集権的な無意識は良くないよ。
いや、方言だけじゃないんですよ。床に座り込んで、なんか明美ちゃんとか叫んでたじゃないですか。なんかめめしい感じ。なんかどっかで見た気がしましたよ。
シェカラ
めめしい。
シェカラスか。
なんかめめしい感じ。なんかどっかで見た気がしましたよ。
シェカラスか。いらんこと言うな。
ひょっとしてその人ここに。
ミサンが？
道の小草
Boy, he's super drunk. Okay.
にも
Michino.
やれさよ米がなるよい。よいよいよいとな。
小暮くん。
ああ、どうもどうも。皆さんお揃いで。
この人マスターの知り合いなんだって。
面倒かけちゃったね。
いえいえいえ。この方ね、ぼったくりバーでチンピラとこ大立ち回りしただけですから。いや。
Botakuri bar. Botakuri. Oh. Good joint. Yeah, so if you don't know what those bars are, okay, so a lot of bars they like might have a menu, but they won't put the prices on there. So when you have the drinks and they send you the bill, it's like, oh yeah, these drinks are expensive top shelf drinks. They're like 2,000 yen a drink or something like that. And so you like, all of a sudden you have like or maybe more than that, like 5,000 yen a drink or something insane. And then, okay, then of course you did drink it and they might be like, here's the menu. And then maybe the prices are on the back, like the actual prices and whatnot. Something like that. So, oh yeah, you did. Yeah. So that's okay. Botakuriba. Botakuriba. I did have a friend, or not friend, sorry, associate at work when I was in the Navy. Apparently he and his father was visiting Japan. They went to Roppongi and got caught up in one of those type of bars. Now, Roppongi, it's not maybe by, probably was a Nigerian-based operation. That's what he was saying. Seemed to be again, basically it's like saying, oh, they owed like 1,000 or 1,500, just an insane amount. And then the man, they go to the ATM and wouldn't made them withdraw the money from the ATM or something, wouldn't let them call the cops or something like that. It was like, yeah, just, it's like, I knew one guy, he said he got out of it because when he was ordering, he just started speaking German. And then they just like, and wouldn't stop speaking German. He wouldn't pretend like he knew what the hell they were saying. And then, because they couldn't really talk to him, try to like essentially force him to pay because they didn't know how to tell him how to pay. That, yeah, they just let him go with what a regular amount would have been for pay. Yeah, again, let's say drinks could be, 800 yen, 1,000 yen. That's normal for, a single drink at a bar. Because again, you're paying not just for the beer, but for the atmosphere and the location. So that's normal. And plus beer is expensive in Japan. But what they're doing, again, it's a ripoff. And also then there's hostess clubs that do the same thing where they'll charge by the hour, but the hourly rate is actually like really, really super high. Or they might do it by the half hour and they won't tell you that the half hour is past. Those try to basically claim that the time is going above and extending. Just make you pay more. Yeah, I don't know how Roppongi. Now, Kabukicho, again, I don't know much about Kabukicho. Roppongi, I don't care. I don't really go to Tokyo all that much, so I can't really say that. I usually if I go anywhere, it's Yokohama, but I don't even go to Yokohama that much. But yeah, Roppongi, I haven't been there in a long time. But yeah, usually for me, it's like if a gentleman's trying to approach me to have him go into his whatever club it is, I usually say, hey, look, I don't want to play. Don't bother with me. Spend your effort elsewhere. That's all I'm trying to say. Hey, look, don't waste your time on me. You can maybe catch the next customer, and then some of them act all like, what does that mean? What does this mean? And it's like, I'm saying, hey, look, hey, I'm just trying to say, hey, look, you don't have to waste your time on me. I'm not going to go into your bar no matter how much you're not going to talk me into it. It's not going to happen. So I'm trying to save you time so you can put your effort toward another customer or maybe someone else to rip off. And hey, maybe they were legit. They're just legit trying to build a business because that happens as well. You've got people, legit operators. but unfortunately, there are also people that uh, are not legit. They're ripping people off, and unfortunately, the not legit are giving bad name to the legit operators. Because yeah, so there is both. So yeah, maybe they was legit, but usually it's again they're just trying to get you into the club. You're just gonna end up paying more money than you normally would need to pay. All right, where do I live? I live in Yokosuka, which is about 40 minutes south by train of Tokyo. But yeah, I like that. Uh, Botaku, botak, botakuri bar. So it looks like a botakuri bar.
あ、丈夫な方ですよ。で、この方ね、ぼったくりバーでチンピラとこ大立ち回りしただけですから。いや、
So yeah, Chimpira is a young. Well, yeah, that's just a yakuza, a young guy trying to act like a yakuza. Um, um, hooligan, a punk. So in this case, it was probably like I think the Nigerians. Not the. I'm sorry. And again, I don't know. Never mind. Again, I can only say it was my experience. I just know the other type, if they were doing rip-off, they don't maybe rip off foreigners because of the language barrier. Whereas, so if someone can speak English, then they're going to also go after foreigners that can speak English. They're just going after money. They don't really care what the source of it is. That's all. Um, yeah, it doesn't matter the country. There are Americans that do rip-off stuff. Um, probably Yokosuka would be more, maybe more of that, just because again, you might have people stick around that transfer, stayed in Japan out of the Navy like I did, but maybe trying to go for not necessarily the easier buck, but just the buck they think they can get, but through a scam, which is kind of weird. Like if you put all this effort and you try to get money in a more legit fashion, you probably could still get the money. Now you don't have the illegality attached to it, or I don't know.
いや、丈夫な方ですよ。
大立ち回り、歌舞伎など、battle scene. Okay. 大立ち回り。
いや、丈夫な方でチンピラ、この方ね、ぼったくりバーでチンピラとこ大立ち回りしただけですから。いや、丈夫な方ですよ。
うん。
さよう、ためはなるよ。よーく俺みてえなの引き取るね。おせっかいしねえんで願ったのかい。カレーか。
うちのカレーはね、二日酔いによく効くんだよ。
うん。
この味、あんたが教えたのかい。
炊き出しでカレー作りたいって。
Hidashi. Okay. 炊き出しで2人。
炊き出しでカレー作りたいって明美ちゃんに頼まれてね。
ボランティアにはいろんなやつがいた。でも俺は嫌だった。なして見ず知らずのやつに優しくされなきゃいけねえんだって。
なして見ず知ら
ず。なして見ず知らずのやつに優しくされなきゃいけねえんだって無視してやった。だけんじょ明美ちゃんだけはずっと仮設に通い続けてくれたんだ。
仮設に。Emergency times? Temporary. Okay. 仮設に。
ずっと仮設に通い続けてくれたんだ。俺が許す使ったって毎週必ずドアノックしてくれた。
うん。
俺がなんとか正気でいられたのは あけみちゃん、作り方教えてくれてよ。ほんで、これつけんなら願い事しねっけダメだっつんだ。願い事なんか願った。だけんちょ、こいつ
だけんちょ
が切れんまでは、とりあえず生きてみっぺって。
生きてみっぺって。うん。
あんたのことだったんだ。
何が？
あけみちゃんが前に話してくれたんだよ。うまいうまいって、本当に美味しそうにカレーを食べてくれる人がいるってさ。
Yeah, okay, so that was the typo of it. Got it. A certain type.
さあ、よく続くね。日雇いなんか3日持てばいい方だよ。
So it's like a day hire or a day worker. いい雇い、いい雇い。一日だけ。約束。Yeah, day employment. いい雇いなんか。
日雇いなんか3日持てばいい方だよ。
これぐらい仕事のうちに入んね。
無理すんなよ。どうせ降りねえからな。
どうぞい。You might know it's emergency or something, but hospital work related accident case. どうぞい。どうぞい。
どうせ降りねえからな。
もしもし。
うん。
誰も迎えに来てくれなんて頼んでねえでしょうが。誰も迎えに来てくれなんて頼んでねえでしょうが。
うん。
どうです？ないですよ。しかし、40過ぎの家で男迎えに来るなんて。
40過ぎ。
40過ぎの家で男迎えに来るなんて。先輩も暇なんすね。
By the way, the actor here, if you remember the video, if you saw it, let's way back when of around 40, he plays Malcolm, the restaurant owner.
いい加減にしろ健三。いい加減。
先輩も暇なんすね。
いい加減にしろ健三。めったまねましくさってで。
あ、腰痛持ちだったっすもんね。
腰痛持ち。腰痛持ち。
腰痛持ちだったっすもんね。夜行バスきつかったっしょ。
ええな。おめえの帰り待ってるぞ。心配したって。おめえのことを悪く言いやさいいね。これ以上亡くなった奥さん悲しませるような真似すんな。
先輩のとこは気楽でいいっすよね。誰も死なねかったっすもんね。少年まで腐っちまってるか。
少年。Rotten to the core. 少年まで。
誰も死なねかったっすもんね。少年まで腐っちまってるか。
喧嘩なら外でやってくんないか。
いくらだ。感情なら俺が払う。
All right. Let's see. Still a lot of conversation here. We'll stop it around the 32-minute mark. Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, so it's roughly around, well, yeah, around the 32-minute mark. Should be fine. I might just do it at the 31.
すいません。あいつもやりきれねえんです。あいつ必死で探し続けたんだけど。
All right. Stop it there. Okay. So it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely, so he's the main purpose of the story. Kind of complicated. I mean, not too complicated, but you can kind of see where he's going. Definitely a great tragedy, you know, the 2011 earthquake, tsunami, living in temporary housing, government provided. You know, the one person who seems to be checking on him actually seems to care about what he, you know, about himself. You know, is this lady? You know, he's hard to tell what type of. You know, he's not a bad guy, but um, it, anyway, maybe he's also kind of looking or trying to figure out stuff, or because again, you know, he had something just completely upended his life, and see how it goes from there. Maybe I'm missing some stuff because I'm skipping over, because like the story, some of it is what's not being said, but what's being shown is part of the story. But of course, again, I'm skipping over that as part of this let's read, because it's not a let's watch, it's a let's read. And the idea, the let's watch part will happen, you know, after I go offline and then watch this movie again sometime in the future. Yeah, it might be today, it might be sometime later in the week, but I will be rewatching this, like I do most of the videos. I've gotten a lot out of that. And then, of course, as I say, I'll take the audio using Chijimeru plugin that you can get on the Refo Discord. Do a search for that, and then you can actually download the audio. It's a Chrome plugin, but yeah, you can download the audio off Netflix, and it's pretty cool that you can then, it just removes the non-spoken portion. So instead of it being a 2-hour audio file, it's a, like, say, hour 20 minutes or something. In fact, let me look real quick. Yeah, it's like an hour 10 minutes. So it goes from 120 minutes down to 70 minutes. So like 50 minutes of non-spoken parts is removed from the audio altogether. So that's very useful when you think about it. So you can just be listening just to comprehensible audio. And it's comprehensible because you did the let's read. You actually, now it's not saying 100% comprehensible, but it's much more than if you had just tried to listen to it without any type of effort. Or even if you tried to listen to it after just watching it, you're going to be missing a lot. But I find that by listening to it after you've done a let's read, you understand so much more. So much more. And same thing with like watching it afterwards. It's like a new experience in a way. It's difficult to explain, but and I'll say personally, and it I'm not one of those guys that likes to go on the when we're talking about, let's say, all Japanese all the time, or when it was mass immersion approach or whatever it is now, where they, you know, I never was the type to like go on the video and say, oh yeah, and talk in English and then say, oh yeah, I understand like X percentage, 90% or 95%, or, and I don't know how they can know what you understand. I mean, I just don't get that. Like if you think it's 95%, then it's probably lower. And the reason why I kind of realize what I'm not understanding, because I'm looking at all the stuff I got to look up, is like, okay, wow, that, you know, you can kind of get a guesstimate there based on like how often are you looking stuff up. And but yeah, I'm not near 100%. But if I look at my readability, you know, like this particular drama is maybe around 90% plus. You know, some of it was with names. Names don't really matter all that much, but still, you should know. When you hear a name, you know it's, hey, it's a name. They're talking about a name, because that's or certain vocabulary. Hey, it's new vocabulary, but it's related to story. So now you realize when you hear it, you may not, you'll recognize it when you hear it. You may not be able to say, hey, what's this word in Japanese? You don't have an active understanding of, or active knowledge of that vocabulary word, but you have a passive knowledge. So when you hear it, you do know what it means. And your passive vocabulary knowledge needs to be bigger anyway. It's going to happen. And you can actually increase your passive vocabulary knowledge by doing, let's reads like this and just immersing yourself in the language. You start picking up more and more words. And again, like I said, like if they said, hey, how do you write the word for, let's say vertebrae? I don't know. But when I see it and hear it, I'll know it. If that makes sense. So yeah, I wouldn't count it among my active words. It's not in my Anki deck or anything yet. But when it is, then yeah, then I'll have an active knowledge of it. And that may or be, that's kind of the weird thing when you're doing sentence mining. It's like, do you mine something you have passive knowledge of, like, or do you mine stuff that you don't have active knowledge of? That's a question. I don't know. I think it's beneficial for the stuff that you should have, build up your amount of active knowledge of the vocabulary. The bigger that is, the better, because that helps you speak more fluently, and also write more fluently. Your active knowledge of the language. But then the passive is because you want to be reading much more than you write. You must be listening much more than you speak. So if your passive knowledge is even higher, all the better. You kind of want that. Same happens in your native language as well. I doubt there's probably a lot of words, like if I ask you, hey, what's another word for red? Okay, you might think of crimson, but what about that? Is rust, is that kind of a reddish color? I don't know. In fact, I'm at a loss for words as to what are some other terms for red. Yellow, I don't know. Tall, high, height. I don't know. There's probably some other words that go in there. It's just, it's not coming to mind. But that's just the nature of language, where you might just actively use maybe, at least in English, maybe 2,000 words, even though you might have a passive knowledge of around 30,000. Yeah. So, but that comes with, and by the way, but the ability to speak and write fluently and literately will come with practice as well. But you do have, I understand it, that does have to be practiced. I'm just going on the idea that, yeah, maybe I should get up my listening ability, and my reading ability to a native-like level before I worry about outputting at a native-like level. Although I do output now and again because I live in Japan. It's just that I could never express my thoughts as well as I can do in English. I'm not a very good speaker. Let's be honest. I'm not eloquent or anything, but I do like to express myself. I would like to be able to express myself to a similar level in Japanese. And I hate the idea, like I kind of have to essentially, give a very bad explanation, kind of talk around a point in Japanese because of my lack of vocabulary or the ability to express that in some grammatically correct fashion. But again, that comes with time. And with time, that will build up. So I get that. So anyway, that's what I'm saying with all this is coming from. Where all this is coming from is just, yeah, it's consume, and the more, and we'll even say about levels. There's the background immersion. That's having Japanese playing all the time. So it's there when you're ready to pay attention. It's there. That's background immersion. That doesn't count, but it's important. And the more comprehensible that background immersion is, the better, because when you do pay attention, you're paying attention to comprehensible audio or something. Now, that's background. Passive is when you're watching or listening to something in Japanese or reading something in Japanese, and you're limiting it solely on your current knowledge of the language. You're not looking up stuff you don't know. That's passive immersion. So that's why when you're passively immersed in something, the more comprehensible it is, the better, because you understand more of it. And the more you understand it, the more you're going to get out of it. Then there's active immersion, like I'm doing here with these Let's Reads. That's where you actually are trying to find out or figure out what you don't know. It could be the person sitting next to you explaining the story to you or explaining a phrase to you. That's, again, active immersion, because you're increasing your knowledge of Japanese or of the material that you're consuming. That's active immersion in my book. Now that's going to be different than we hear from other people, but that's how I separate. That's how I kind of deal with the 3 levels of immersion. So yeah, background, always playing, more comprehensive, better. Passive immersion, just watching or reading without lookups. The more comprehensible, the better. And then there's active, where it's not necessarily need to be more more comprehensible, the better. But the less you got to worry about looking up, the better. um, as you get better in the language, obviously, the less you look up. But then the stuff you look at, and then there is that 4th level, the highest level is a direct study. That's just, hey, you're utilizing Anki. Here's a word you want to learn. You're actually taking a chance to learn and memorize, and then testing your ability of recall and all that. That's studying. Active immersion is a form of studying. It can be tiring, so you might want to treat it as much along with your study time. Like add those 2 times together. Passive, you don't count that as study time. That's fun time, but do it as much as you can within reason. And then background, hey, that just means that could be 24/7 if your situation allows for it. If you're able to sleep through that type of noise, go for it. If you can't, don't do it. That's all. But it's the idea is like, hey, it's this there so that you can snack on that. It's basically audio snacking. You can snack on audio that is present when you're ready, when you can pay attention. That's all that's about. Nothing fancy. Okay. I usually say this now and again, so people who followed me on for a while have heard this before. But yeah, I think it makes sense. Yeah, and it's about as basic as I can put it. Okay, with that said, this has been Let's Read Japanese, Shinya Shokudo, the 2015 movie, part 4 of 5. I'll be doing part 5 for on YouTube and also on live stream. I'll be doing this tomorrow, on most likely. Tomorrow's Saturday. Saturdays are kind of up in the air for me. No, wait. Yeah, tomorrow's a Saturday. I'll try to, but if not, then oh well, life goes on. For those on YouTube, this will be on the September the 9th. So then episode 5 will be on Friday. Or part 5 will be on Friday. Then I'll start the 2016 movie on that Saturday. So again, I'm going to do both the movies, and then I'm going to do the Shinya Shokudo, or the Kino Nani Tabata. All right, thank you all very much. This has been fun. Yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you enjoyed the series, like to see more, subscribe to the channel. If you appreciate what I'm doing with the Japanese learning community, you'd like to show support, that can be done via the Patreon. Links are in the description, as well as links to the community website. Community Discord and the website that Otaku Day put together. Finally, if you'd like to hire me on commission, mainly just one-on-one to help with getting started or maybe restarting going in a different direction, like I've been describing in these videos. The hourly rates and the payments are on the Patreon, so the direct link for that specifically is in the link below. Okay, thank you all very much. I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you're having fun. And yeah, enjoy. In fact, I'll say thanks for watching. And by the way, is it Kone Serp or Cone Serp? But and White Mouse, thank you for the comments. Thanks for watching. There we go. Later, guys.